You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 98. Today is October 13, 2023, and today's guest is Officer Ricky.
How's it going, guys? Happy Friday 13th.
Do you believe in the bad luck stuff?
No.
I don't either.
No, I don't. Yeah, no. I don't care seeing a black cat on Friday the 13th. No.
I'm not, like when they say that you cross paths, black cat crosses in front of you. Do it again, dude. I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. No, I don't think it brings bad luck or anything like that. No.
I don't. But anyways, it's been a minute, about 2 months since the last time I recorded a podcast.
Yeah, it has been.
On Wednesday, I did get reminded, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Get it going again? What's going on? And I explained the whole situation with the garage and mosquitoes, and obviously I have this thing burning, and so far no bites, right?
No, thankfully,
you sure?
no. Yeah,
you sure? That looks fresh.
Maybe one.
Okay.
But honestly, yeah, maybe one, but it's tiny.
So yeah, no, I just been neglecting the podcast because it's it's too hot in the garage during summer. 2, the mosquitoes have been crazy out here lately.
They've been insane.
And it's funny that I found out that this breed of mosquitoes comes from Asia. They made it to California in a shipment of those little plants, that the little green bowl with the one plant, that one sticking out of it. Mm-hmm. It's not a bonsai tree, but it's one of those little
similar
plants.
Okay.
It came in a shipment of those, and they were first discovered in El Monte back in 2011.
Really?
Yeah. And it makes sense because...
No, yeah, I obviously, it's been a big increase because of the, of the rain. So this has been like a perfect breeding ground. You know, because we have the heat, we have now the moisture. So it's been a breeding ground. So the mosquitoes population has gone through the roof.
For my son's birthday party, you know, you guys all came over, and after freaking 4 o'clock, everyone was getting hit bad.
Yeah, no, it gets crazy.
It got bad. So it's like, no, we had a guy come fumigate the property like the Monday before, and it did nothing, bro.
It does nothing. I have the same thing at my house, and actually we just canceled them because we're just paying it
for nothing.
For nothing. Like it there hasn't been a decrease, is what I'm trying to say.
So these mosquitoes are the ones that they call them ankle biters because they go low, right? Mm-hmm. So I had that big zapper that you see behind you.
Yeah.
Freaking $350 just sitting there now, up on hanging from the roof, right?
Yeah. And
my brother Danny, who's been in town for a little bit, he's like, dude, if they're ankle biters, why don't you bring that down? One day we were in the garage because, as you can see, we have remodeled the podcast
different
studio.
Yeah, very, very different. Yeah,
more spacious. We can do more. And we have more space for activities, bro. I want to get a pool table in here. And so he's like, if they're ankle biters, why don't you bring it down? And we brought it down. We were in the garage for a little while, maybe till like midnight, and that thing was zzz, 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 zzz. At one point it zzz for like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
When I walked by it, dude, it smelled delicious. Something fried. I wanted to eat it. I was like, damn, am I fat when I want to eat whatever the zapper killed? Yeah, there was a, what do you call those? Praying mantis?
Oh, yeah.
It got through, and it zapped. That thing zapped for a good 45 seconds.
That's fun. Yeah, we got a few of those at our house, too. And not as big as Big Bertha back there, but, you know, yeah, it goes throughout the night. Actually, it got bad, actually. We even put one of them inside, and we can hear it. We put it in the kitchen, and you hear it pretty much all night long just going off.
Dude, dude, everyone has been complaining about mosquitoes. It's funny because when I first started the podcast, we're complaining about COVID.
Yeah,
now we're complaining about mosquitoes.
No, I'll take COVID. These mosquitoes suck.
Yeah,
you know, they suck.
It's bad because they're pretty much like trapping you in your own house.
Yeah.
So you don't want to come out right now. I told you, man. I'll come record. We'll record, but I gotta turn on the instant freaking an hour before you get here. Yeah. And they're in here. We've seen them flying around, but they're not. They're not biting.
No.
They are not biting. But anyways, yes, it's been a minute. I haven't recorded in a while. Like I said, it's been hot and guests have been limited. I ran out of stories from my upbringing that I kind of want to do a little twist with the podcast whenever like Officer Ricky's here or people that are been regulars. If Roger comes on, whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. maybe using life scenarios that we've encountered out in the street, friends. You know me, man. I have a lot of friends that vent to me, and you have obviously in your line of duty people. You go to house calls and so obviously right now let's catch up on how we've been, and then get into maybe a conversation that was brought up to my attention, and I wanted to see what your opinion is, since you're about to say something that I'll let you say it before I open my mouth.
Yeah, so what he's referring to is that my wife and I are actually expecting our first kid in December, like around Christmas time.
You're gonna ruin that day, bro.
Yeah, we're really hoping it's not Christmas Day, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so it's been a journey. That's why also like Andy's kind of has hit me up a few times, like we can podcast this right now. It's been a very, very busy coming up, but for that reason,
I've been itching the podcast, bro. It's not just the mosquito bites. I've been itching the podcast. I've been wanting to podcast. It's like, but again, I've reached out to friends, and some people like want to come on, but then their schedules it doesn't match up, and some of them have good stories. And it's like I said, remember when I first started the podcast, it was like, okay, who's next? Who's next for Saturday? Who's next for Saturday? I don't want to be like that. Yeah, it's not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be stress relief. It's supposed to be a hobby. Last time I checked, hobbies aren't stressful.
No, yeah,
so
I agree.
That's why I'm kind of like, you know what, Rick, come on, let's just do this. Let's record one, and like I said, that's why I came up with this idea.
I just feel like also like the more that you continue to do it, the more people are gonna be like, oh, you know what, like I want to go on too.
Yeah,
because it seemed like that's also what was happening a lot. You had a lot of traction when there was episodes pretty religiously.
Yeah,
people were like, oh man, I want to go on it too now. So.
Yeah, no, like look at Evan, my buddy Evan, freaking drove out here like multiple times.
Yeah.
And when it was first going, and I got to get more. It's just a lot of shit's happened, bro. A lot of things have happened in a while. I mean, obviously we went on vacation. That was right after the last podcast episode I recorded. We went on vacation. First time we went to Cancun.
Yeah.
So we went to Cancun, and then you guys couldn't make it because, like you said, you guys we're expecting.
Because we didn't go obviously the traditional route. Not that we didn't want to. It was just that with some complications that my wife went through, we had to go through in vitro fertilization. So that was like a lengthy process, to say the least. It was a lot that she had to endure a lot, but also like a lot of medication that would have to be administered, and at a certain, at 7 p.m. at night, you have to get the medication and their shots. So the only person that would do it obviously was me. So I'd either have to go home, or sometimes Betty would even come to my station so she can get the injections for her shots. So yeah, it was definitely like a lot in experience.
Well, I know I've seen what you guys have gone through. My wife has been wanting a baby for a long time.
Yeah.
Sadly, she can't have a baby. But the process to figure out why she can't has been such a painful one that I have more respect for women now of what they go through than with us. For example, us, not to sound disgusting, but with us, okay, can you have a baby? Come here. Nut in this cup.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done.
Yeah.
No, man. She had freaking the fucking bullshit shoved up in there. One day it was bad because she had to go to a doctor's office in Downey, which is not that far, but it's not our hospital, which is only 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And she ended up, they did an exam on her, and she was crying the entire way. And Letty, bro, she does not cry.
No, yeah.
And she was crying. She got to our mother-in-law's house crying, and your wife was there, and she ran up to her thinking that I had finally broken up with her. I did something to her. She's like, oh no, what did Andy do? And she's like, what the fuck? Andy didn't do shit. It's just, I just came back from the hospital. And seeing what she went through, man, I have more respect for, like I said, I have more respect for women, because us, it's a trip. It is. It's a trip, because with us, it's like, I feel like they baby guys more. I think like apparently there was this video I watched recently that this guy went for a some kind of exam, and they were going to put him under. Like, it was something so stupid, bro. Like, something so simple, like, and they were going to put him under.
Yeah.
Like, Wait, what? They're gonna, oh, let's say I'm fucking around. They're gonna pop your pimple. They're gonna put you to sleep for popping your pimple. You know what I mean? It was something so stupid. And like my wife, she has to go get a certain exam every 4 months. They don't even give her medication, bro.
Yeah. No, I saw that. Like I said, going through the process. You know, I mean, it. Like you said, literally, it's that you just nut in a cup. But for them, it's far more invasive. And not only that, but I mean, for us to even have the kid, I mean, she needed to take shots in her stomach every day, twice, once in the morning, once at night. But it's 3 different shots. So she's taking 6 shots a day for pretty much almost a full month straight every day for a full month. And obviously it gets sore because you're doing it like in the lower abdomen area, so and then not only that, so there's that, and then there's a longer one that has like, it's like a big, it's a big needle. And I'm not exaggerating, like, oh, it's like the size of your pinky. No, it's bigger than probably like your middle finger, probably even more. And it goes into like her hip butt area and the whole thing. You can't, not just the tip, the whole thing. And that's for like another like 2 weeks every day. So did it hurt her and did she bleed? Yeah, of course it did, but I mean, it just showed the resilience of women and what they go through in order for them to, for this to happen. That's why we're like, yeah, we're somewhat envious of people that, hey, we were able to do it naturally. It's just that wasn't our case, and hey, we had to pay the price. Literally, it's because it's a hefty fine, or not fine, it's a hefty price. And for my wife, yeah, she endured the pain before, even become just to get pregnant. You know, so to see her go through that too, it's like, man, like you said, it brings a different perspective.
Well, freaking, so the wife, she's real, not that she's, well, lately she's been very superstitious, not superstitious, I'm sorry, like, what do you call those, that bullshit, conspiracy theories, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm starting to believe her on some of the shit, right? So, obviously when she was 12, she developed Bell's palsy, and she developed, fucking, blood clots at a young age, bro. Mm-hmm. Fucking 12 years old. They gave her medication that freaking obviously didn't sit so well with her because she, when she was younger, she was a lot thinner. Now she has a weight that she fucking can't, she doesn't like, she doesn't want. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard for her. I've said it before. It's very hard for her to lose weight because for every pound that she loses, the next morning she'll gain 10 more. Mm-hmm. So it's very hard for her. She actually went to the hospital where all this went down, asking for her medical history. And they're like, well, this was like 20 years ago, so we've trashed that. That's, that's, we don't keep files that long. And so, for example, they found, a certain kind of cancer down there, the reason why she can't have a kid. And they gave her medication. Mm-hmm. Medication is supposed to kill the cancer, which it did. But it made her fucking diabetic. So she's like, do you see what the fuck I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. This is why these people want us sick. They want to continue to make us sick. That's the reason why, all this bullshit. Like she said, we use me as an example. I have diverticulitis. I never knew what the fuck that was until I went to the hospital with it. Yeah, I never knew what IBS was until my son has IBS. Mm-hmm. Now I have IBS as well. And, so then we used the example of doctors only want to make money. Mm-hmm. So then we thought of you guys. I'm like, look at how many people lately have had to go through IBS. Mm-hmm. How many people have we heard, including you guys, of what's the bill? I mean, can you say?
Yeah, it's expensive. So they first quote you at like $30,000, but it's more. We're probably closing the range of more like $40,000 at the end when everything's all said and done. Because of course that's like the baseline. But if you have to do other testing, if you want to do other things, it costs more. It goes more and more. And well, you know what? Based on this, you actually need to do this also. So the bill at the end of the day was closer to like probably like $38,000, mind you. Insurance, because they see it as it's an elective. It's not something that's like, oh, you have to do it. Yeah. So they only cover like $5,000. Yeah.
So the rest of it was out of pocket.
The rest of it has to be out of pocket, and because it's a medical procedure, it's not something that you can really kind of just make in payments. They're like, no, we kind of need, because we can't, pretty much, like, they didn't say this, but they're like, we can't repo the medicine out of your body once it's in. You know, like if you're on a payment plan and you miss payments, stop making payments, we can't just take that medicine back.
Right.
You know, so they're like, no, like, and also they can't just stop it because then, you know, they don't know how your body could react. So they're like, no, like, we need it all up front.
Yeah. I think what's bullshit is it's not even guaranteed.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part is that, I mean, thankfully for us, we got very, very lucky. But in a lot of cases, yeah, that happens where you pay the price, you go through everything, and like what happened to one of our coworkers, coincidentally, they only got one good egg. Where for us, thankfully, we had 10 male embryos and 2 female embryos. So we did 1 and 1. We did 1 male, one female. The male embryo became a vanishing twin, and so right now we're having just our little girl, Gwen. So she'll be coming in December. But we have 9 other male embryos and 1 more female embryo to still kind of, right now they're cryogenically frozen right now until, you know, we decide, okay, yeah, you know, we want another one so we can do the same thing, implant. But it doesn't cost that much every time. It's only like, after that, it's like $5,000 to do either twins again or do one. So it's not like a $30,000 bill every time. No,
right.
You just get that to get the eggs, fertilize them, grow them, do all the testing genetically and everything. After that, to implant, it's just like, it's like $5,000, which is still expensive, but I mean, it's definitely a lot better than 30.
Then $30,000 all over.
But a lot of people will have to do the 30,000 again because they get that one, they implant it, body doesn't take it.
Yeah.
And then guess what? They have no more eggs, so guess you gotta go through the whole thing all over again.
I had a buddy of mine that actually, that's when I first learned about IBS, because a buddy of mine said that he paid $30,000 for IBS and it didn't even work.
Yeah.
And when they're about to go and do it all over again, they went on vacation. I think they went to Jamaica, Bahamas, some shit like that. And they came back pregnant.
Nice, yeah.
So that's what they needed, bro. That's what you needed, bro.
Was this a jump start?
Yeah.
That's sometimes all you need. You know, luckily for them, but it's like I told a lot of people, yeah, that it just wouldn't be possible in our case because Betty doesn't have any of her tubes no more.
Yeah.
So those tubes, they're gone. So she still develops eggs. So this is when I learned about all that stuff is just because a woman doesn't have her fallopian tubes no more. Obviously, they're separate from her ovaries. Her ovaries still continues to produce eggs. So that's why we're able, and she still has her uterus. So that's why we're still able to have.
Yeah, just nothing's making it over there.
Yeah, nothing's gonna make it there. Now, none of my little homies are gonna find their way there.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. We say that about the homies because Nick's like, the whole. Not lately nowadays, people are suing their parents because they chose not to live here. So Letty actually got Nick back, and then my brother too. My brother, he was here. He was like, "Why didn't you choose to be here?" And then both Letty and my brother were like, "Technically, you all beat everyone else. You won that race. So the way we see it, you chose to be here.
Yeah,
you won. You beat everyone else."
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
After that, he kept quiet. Yeah, no. When I see Betty running around and trying to play catch and baseball with it, I yell at her, bro. Sit the fuck down. You can't be playing. You can't be playing being all rough and shit. That's $30,000 in your stomach. What the fuck?
Yeah, early on, she was bad. Where like, yes, she's pregnant, and she didn't obviously show as much, but she was still, like you said, running around doing the stuff. And I mean, it's hard for her. But now she's 8 months pregnant. Now she's 8 months pregnant. So now it's not even an option no more. You know, now she does have a good sized belly going on. So now she doesn't really try to do the whole like, hey, let me try to run around.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of nice.
And for being 8 months pregnant, she's not even that.
Yeah, see, that's what a lot of people said too. They're like, you know what?
Sure she's not 7 months pregnant?
She's like 7.5, I think, right now. Yeah, if my math's correct. Yeah, 7.5. Because a lot of people say the same thing, like, man, like, you're not as big as we thought. And it's funny because to her, she thinks she's huge. Like, she's like, I'm a watermelon. She always says that, like, I'm a watermelon. So I finally told her because she was like kind of talking like shit to herself. I'm like, that's good. That means that our kid's growing. Like, you should be happy that she's getting bigger and bigger. That means she's growing good.
Yeah.
You know? She's like, no, I am. I'm like, oh, then she's growing
Shut
with you.
Shut
so,
it, woman.
yeah, I'm like, so that's
Shut it.
enough. You know? If she's getting bigger, you're going to get bigger. But that's good. We want her to get bigger.
Yeah.
You know? So she kind of like saw that different perspective. She was like, oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, yeah, you gotta give them that. You gotta give them that point of view sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my wife over here criticizes her cooking all the time. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm eating it, aren't I?
Yeah. Yeah. See?
I would tell you if it tastes like shit.
Oh yeah. No, that's
You can
fine.
give me a pile of shit, make it seasoned and shit. Trust me, if I don't taste the shit, I'm gonna say it's good. But that's good, man. I mean, you know, congratulations. It's funny because Roger said that the next time you came on the podcast to talk about being pregnant, he wanted to be here to remind you how a few months ago or a year ago you said, "Fuck them kids."
Yeah, no, it's funny because like it's different now. I wouldn't say it's different, but like I've always had the same thought. Like, okay, when I have a kid eventually, I know that my selfishness is gonna have to kind of go down a little bit because that's like I tell a lot of people.
You are very selfish.
I'm very giving, but just as equally, I'm very selfish at the same time too. And so, knowing that that's gonna have to change, I'm very curious to see how I'm going to react. I know it's gonna be in a positive way, but still, you know, I'm like, I can't just do the things I'm gonna want to do anymore for just me. And like, oh well, if anything, it's just Betty gets upset. No, like I don't put just one person in quote unquote jeopardy. It's, you know, someone else that doesn't have a say in it, you know, so.
So when I first took custody of the kids, I would come home from a long day's work, whatever, and I would get on the PlayStation, you know, and the wife had to remind me, hello, you have your kids here. You have custody of your kids now, and there is no coming home and playing video games. And it took a while for me to finally, like, for her to, like, be like, okay, well, actually, he needs it to relax him. So, but by then the boys were a lot older. Actually, JoJo was already even playing with me. So
Yeah.
now she's like, okay, cool, that's fine. He needs it to relax him. I can go to drugs and alcohol if you want. You know, I got a cop that can give me something, you know, to blow up my nose. You know what I mean? And but no, yeah, golfing's definitely gonna have to come to an end, bro.
I wouldn't say an end, but it may be.
No, it's not gonna end, but
it's gonna be probably limited at first until I can take her out, because I already found my solution. There's this thing is called a baby caddy.
Oh,
and pretty much what it is it's a golf. Think of it like a golf bag.
yeah.
But it's just like a little shelving that it attaches to the stroller, so you can stroll down with them.
How many guys have taken their baby golfing?
Moyo.
Oh, okay. That's one.
That's all
I meant real
needed.
golfers, bro. I need
Oh.
real golfers, bro. We're talking the pros, man.
Well, see, they can pay that money to
Babysitter.
yeah.
Yeah. But what we're talking here is to be there for your kid, bro. Not
But-
pay some random person to raise your kid for you.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna be with me down the golf course. Yeah, so it'll be a fun and challenging change. I'm excited and also curious of how it's gonna be. So we'll see.
We're all here to guide you, bro. We're all here to tell you when you're fucking up. You know, you
Yeah.
know you'll hear it from me, bro. You know you damn well hear it from me.
Yeah,
Like
we're-
at your baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking told you
Yeah.
straight out. You know what, bro? I'm gonna tell you before you hear it from somebody else. I'm fucking pissed at you.
yeah, no, it.
So what happened was for the baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
I already had plans to go with my brother on a bike ride, and I kicked myself in the ass. Rick and I talked about it. I kicked myself in the ass because I don't tell family. I tried not to tell family no. So when he hits me up, hey, I kind of need your help with the tables and this and that. Can you bring the bounce house? All this bullshit. I told him yes, but then I text him pissed off. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude. Last minute bullshit, dude. I went and I dropped off everything, and the wife said, you're leaving already? I said I was only dropping everything off. I'm going home. Deuces. I'm out. And even your wife called me out the other day. She's like, yeah, you were mad. I'm like, you were pissed off. I'm like, I didn't want to be there.
No, it was a good time though at the end, which is kind of what I liked. It everything worked out well. It was a little towards the end. Everything leading up was scheduled. Obviously, like we talked about that day, night of actually, that night before, people started to kind of change plans a little bit, and it was getting a little too close to the timeline. So I was like, oh, you know what?
Back up.
Hey, I gotta start making different moves because people's schedules are kind of gonna start affecting mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started making kind of different calls. But at the end, everything went well. We had a very good turnout. Which made me happy. It's like I told you guys before, and like I told everyone else when I was calling them to like thank them. I was like, I just felt bad that in big events like that, there's no quality time. Like I didn't give no one real quality time. It was more just like everyone got like a little bit before I was pulled somewhere else. Oh, this person's here. Oh, take a picture over here. So that's kind of why I don't like those big events, because I like the quality time, not just let me just sprinkle a little bit of conversation here, here, and here. So that's probably like what I was telling you. I'm not a big fan of those big events, but in this case, I'm like, I guess I don't say expected, but I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just part of the thing.
Yeah, no, big events is like, even at any, like, Nick's birthday party was small, and it's, you still make your rounds to. Sometimes I felt like I was neglecting my cousin too much. Then I would go talk to my tia and her husband, and then her daughters, which were my cousins also. And then I would see that my other cousins over there on her phone, so I'd go over there and make small talk with her. And I didn't really worry about the family because they were all entertaining themselves. But it was more like the guest list of my side of the family that I was kind of worried to make sure that everybody got a little bit of flat tire Andy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's like my same mentality. I'm okay, cool. The fam, my fam, and your fam, okay, cool. They have each other. Let me see who else is around here that's kind of sprinkled in. That's kind of like, okay, I want to make them also feel welcome and comfortable. So that's kind of what I was trying to entertain the most. Like once a lot of my coworkers got there, I left them. I'm like, okay, cool. They're entertaining themselves.
Yeah.
I got to kind of jump in once in a while, join a couple jokes and then get out of there. So that was kind of more so my plan. The exact same way you mentioned. If I saw someone that looked like I either like, oh man, I haven't talked to this person really that much, or hey, they seem kind of like out of the loop. Boom, let me go make a conversation real quick.
Yeah, your boy, man. I got distracted with him almost the entire first half because
Hector,
because I was talking to him and we just started talking about like a little bit of everything. Like he obviously knew about the podcast.
Yeah.
And this and that. He just was saying a bunch of shit that you've been saying, bro. I should still kick your ass for this, but you're probably carrying, so I'm not going to. No, it was pretty cool because then I'm talking to him and then a cousin will walk by. Hey, what's going on? Oh shit, what's going on? And your friend's just standing there. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. And then I get back to your friend.
Yeah.
And then an uncle will by. Oh shit, you came. Oh, what's up, man? What's going on? Blah blah blah. And I'll get back to your friend. So we talked for a while, bro. He talked about football.
Yeah,
and
he loves it. Yeah.
That was it. That was it. What, Ricky who? Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I introduced you guys because I knew you guys would have hit it off. Like it's like I told you that day that he was he's been one of my best friends since 5th grade. So that's a very long childhood friend. That I mean, I was talking to him on the way here.
Oh wow, okay.
And I told him, he's like, oh, you're gonna go do a podcast with Andy. So he was all stoked. He goes, oh, dude, that's sick. Just send me the link and everything. So So he always acts like he said the exact same thing. Like it was cool talking to Andy. He always, like he said, he's heard about you multiple times. So it was like it's cool to actually like talk to him, put a face to the name, and everything. So and
no, that was cool. That like I said, that distracted me from being pissed off at you. Orale, ESPN.
Dang, we got
ESPN
a rookie
since
here.
We
got a rookie
I didn't
on
put my
the
phone on
podcast.
silent. What?
Even I did that.
Whoa, my bad.
I ignored my wife's.
My bad.
I ignored my pregnant wife's phone call for this, but you didn't hear it.
My bad. My bad. My fantasy league's getting ready to kick off, bro. So no, yeah, it was real cool. Like I said, it distracted me from. I was upset. I was annoyed, and because there's there's other things going on,
Mhm.
and it's just like, wait, why only me, man? Why? Because everybody can depend on me because I don't say no. I
Yeah.
don't say no.
It's
But
funny. It's funny too. He's also the one that told me, Hector, that is, that it it's very powerful and liberating to use the word no, especially with family. He's like, you can't be afraid to say no to family. It sounds very contradicting and counterintuitive when you're like, no, you don't say no to family. That's family.
yeah,
But it's like, it goes back to the saying that I use all the time. You can't help anyone without helping yourself first. And it sounds selfish, I guess, if you have a different mindset. But it's true. Like, if you're always overextending, then that happens, right? You just become very angry and man, we just used that word earlier too, and resentful of that person because we're like, dude, I'm always overextending for you, and we feel like sometimes it's never in return.
right.
So that's why if I'm in a good space, then yeah, hey, like I said, I'll bend over backwards, no problem. But if I feel like, what, hey, I'm taking more than I can chew, sorry, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna say it with a smile on my face, because not because I'm being a dick, but because I know myself that, hey, you know what, I'm saving both of us some problems, because if I don't come through, they're gonna be angry. And if I overextend, I'm stressing everything now. And if I mess up, I'm going to be angry at myself. And guess what? You may be angry at me too.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, saying no to family sometimes is very powerful. If if you're in the wrong mental space, it's okay to say no.
Like right now, now we can kind of catch up on Flat Tire Andy here. I'm in that position right now with not mainly the word no, but between a rock and a hard place.
Mhm.
So, the boys are in band, and they're
doing great, by the way.
They're doing great with
Mhm.
band, and they love it, But the reason why I'm between a rock and a hard place is because, that has eliminated the visits with their mom.
Mhm.
So I was just on the phone with her yesterday, and it wasn't a pleasant one. I can sense the anger in her voice because she texts Nick. I'm gonna say like 3 weeks ago, asking, so what's up? What does October look like? And he responded with, well, Saturdays are still off the table. And there was no follow up question.
Mhm.
This is 2-3 weeks ago. There was no follow up question. So or a phone call to me. Why can't I see them on Saturday? What's going on? Nothing. And so Nick doesn't want her here. Nick doesn't want her to see his performance. Nick doesn't want, so the way Nick says it is he has two lives.
Mhm.
The Bakersfield life and the life out here. He doesn't want both lives to intertwine. He doesn't. He doesn't want to have to explain to his friends who that individual is.
Mhm.
So, why I'm kicking myself in the ass is because, okay, to avoid less bullshit on my end, I want to invite her. My son doesn't want her here.
Mhm.
So it's like, who do I want to betray? Who do I want to, I don't want to disappoint my son. I don't mind disappointing her, but at the same time, that's their mom.
Mhm.
I was editing photos and what is it, after their showcase a few weeks ago, and I was like, damn, and my brother was in here, what's going on? I'm like, she's not seeing any of this. She's not seeing how great they are doing. And he reminded me, he was like, well, she chose that life. She chose that path. If she really wanted to, she would have already asked, okay, well, when is the performance? What's going on? What's the schedule? What's the time? Blah, blah, blah. Like I told the wife this morning, technically, if she were to come down to one of the performances, she can take him right after because it's her visit.
Yeah.
But she hasn't even asked. She doesn't even ask when the performances are, whatever. So this morning, so yesterday she was all pissed off, and I didn't lose my shit because I technically had a manager with me from work, and I kept my cool. So today I woke up angry. I woke up angry because I should have gone off on her, and I should have told her, this is a fucking bed that you made. You made this bed.
Yeah.
And I me, bro, I'll start going on a rant on an email.
Mm-hmm.
I'll draft an email of what I want to tell her, but it'll just be me getting it off my chest.
Yeah.
And I felt like I woke up angry today more than yesterday because, like I said, my boss was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to tell her, like, you made this bed. And you made this bed. You chose someone else over your kids. You fucking took off to Oregon for 7 months. Didn't even fucking say goodbye to your kids. You fucking, when the judge asked you what you were gonna do, you responded with you're taking your husband. All this bullshit that you said and you did, you flip it back on us. Like, for example, when Layla was here, she even called the school to find out Layla's school track schedule, fucking grades, fucking medical history. She even came down and she exercised her second visit when Layla was living here.
Mm-hmm.
The moment Layla left, all that stopped.
Yeah.
And where she fails to realize is that the boys see this.
Yeah.
I don't have to, and that's one thing that Roger told me, recently. Is like, you didn't take the kids from her. Physically, you did. You got custody, you brought them home. But technically,
legally
I did. But she's like, technically, you didn't. This is why Roger, man, get him on the podcast and he fucking freezes. You didn't take them from her. She did that herself by her actions.
Mm-hmm.
So the father in me, the co-parenting in me, wants to be like, okay, here's the schedule. You show up. The father in me doesn't want to disappoint his son,
mm-hmm.
because I went behind his back and invited his mom.
It's definitely a conundrum in that aspect. But I think also, it's like you said earlier. She really figured that stuff out when Layla was here. If she really wanted to, she can find out. She could ask, like, hey, again, it's no surprise when a kid is in an actual sporting event, whether it be band, basketball, football, baseball, whatever the case may be. There's gonna be performances. It's not like it's a club. It's an actual school sport or event. So there's gonna be some form of performance. Therefore, most people are gonna be like, okay, hey, well, you know what? You have the schedule. Can you send me the schedule? Hey, when are they playing? Where are they playing? So that way, again, even though Nick may be saying that, hey, I don't want you there. At the end of the day, she's the parent. If she wants to go to watch her kid, that shouldn't stop her. You know what I'm saying? But again, like on to your part, that shouldn't weigh on your chest, because then you're kind of just like, okay, well, here, let me guilt you into coming when she has the resources to get that information.
And that's what I told her this morning. Is like, when I was venting to you about it, is like, if I were to guilt her into coming and she comes, she only came because I guilted her, bro.
Yeah.
I want her to come because she wants to come.
Mm-hmm.
Where she, like I said, like she did for Layla, she did her homework. She needs to do her homework with the boys as well.
I agree.
And I want to respect my son's decision and be like, okay, he doesn't want her there. Then I was venting to the wife this morning because, like I said, I wrote this long email and didn't read it out loud because it's not going to get sent. It's just me venting to myself.
Yeah.
And like I told my wife was telling me, it's like, well, look, Nick, yes, you're right. Nick needs to open up and needs to speak up and say something. You're right. But at the same time, Nick already has butterflies in his stomach performing out there. So he doesn't really want to be out there wondering who's in the audience. I'm like, well, the audience has a bunch of people that he doesn't even know. Exactly. But when you know someone's negativity and toxic ways are in the crowd, then it kind of like, makes it worse for him, I guess. Because also that conversation with their mom yesterday caused other issues where, that supposedly Layla was texting Nick on his old cell phone number. But Nick still has access to his old cell phone number because it's Google Drive. It's Google Voice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't delete that number. It's there forever. And I like, so, because my baby's mom was like, well, I text you guys and you guys didn't respond. You left a group chat. And I'm like, no, I never got that. I never got that group chat.
Mm-hmm.
it'd be nice if you would have sent me a screenshot so I can see what you're talking about, because I never left a group chat. That screenshot never happened. So then I told her, well, make sure that you're adding the right phone numbers, because apparently, Layla's been texting Nick to his old cell phone number, and he still has access to that number, but he hasn't seen anything. So, she's doing it or not, whatever the case may be, but doesn't seem like she is. So just make sure you're using the right phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And she sent the group chat. So what happened was, when I made those comments, Layla started bugging Nicholas at school about what I had said, the comments that I said. So I figured, you know what, this conversation only started more fucking problems. Now we have a group text with the boys and my baby's mom. There is no need for me to talk to her on Facebook Messenger anymore. There's no need for me to have private conversations with her anymore when we have a group chat with the boys.
Yeah.
I blocked her on Facebook, and I'm trying to find a way how to block incoming calls from her, but not text messages. And my IT guy out here couldn't figure it out. So
Come on, Danny.
Come on, Danny. So I'm trying to eliminate a fucking headache. And like I said, I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. But like you said, and like my brother Danny has said, like Roger has said, and she's made her bed. Now she needs to lay in it. So, because one thing that she threw in my face yesterday was, and it pissed me off, she said that I'm reaping all the benefits of having the kids. I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the point.
Duh.
Yeah.
So in my email where I was writing my email, I told her, I didn't tell her, but I wrote it where if I were to die right now, Rick, some reason we get fucking struck by lightning, the boys are going to have about $105,000. It's there for them.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to die in 20 years, we're talking close to $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely reeking. They're going to freaking have a good life just by me fucking dying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they're going to, like I told her I told her a long time ago that I was going to do something with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like I am. Like it's funny because Roger's like, what does 10 years working for a company look like in your 401k? Well, that's a good fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and looked it up. $105,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say it right. So the kids they're gonna reek from that. You know what I mean? They're gonna fucking benefit from that. If Nick needs to go to college, boom, pull it out. Here you go, mijo. Whatever you need, go to school. You know what I mean? If I were, like I said, I do whatever I can for the kids. It's always been that way. It's always been like that. So when she makes comments like that, it does piss me off. Because like I said, she chose this. She chose this life.
Yeah.
And
I think the main thing though, I mean, again, I don't know. I'm kind of just talking from the outside looking in. I think because though she has other kids too as well that stay with her, that I don't want to put words in the mouth, but again, this is just me looking from the outside in. That maybe that's also the reason why too. She's like, well, I don't have to try as hard with the kids that I have here, so I don't have to put that extra effort in. Where to me, it'd be the opposite.
yeah,
Again, because I don't see those other kids as much, and I have these kids here all the time, your extra effort should be going in to see the ones that you don't see all the time. For that exact reason, because you don't see them all the time. So if they got extracurriculars, okay, cool. Again, Nick doesn't want to tell you where it is. Cool. Hey, Andy, when and where. Send me the schedule. And are you betraying Nick? No, because she's reaching out to the right person to try to get that information. And again, if she wants to go out there on her own without you guilting her, hey, that's what a good parent will do. And if she goes and Nick's not happy, but it's like, mijo, she wants, you can see the effort. She's trying. Understand and respect that at the end of the day, like it or not, she is your mom. She has a right to, see her kid do well and see her kid perform. That's all she's asking for. That's all she's doing.
yeah,
But especially because she reached out. Like you said, she's doing her homework to make it out there. If it was the opposite, where you're like, hey, you're doing everything and the effort's not there and she's not willing to go that extra mile, it's like, then why am I going to give you any information? These, at the end of the day, you're right. It is a benefit.
Yeah.
And it's not just because your mom is not like, oh, hey, I have to now give you this information. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kicking myself in the ass. Do I tell her, give her the guilt trip, and then she comes, or just let her figure it out and let her make the effort herself?
She figured out with Layla. If she really wanted to, she'll figure it out with the boys too. If she really wanted to, it's not a secret.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, she may be bitching to you, but has she asked for the schedule yet? Has she asked you for, okay, hey, well, when is our next performance then?
No, she has not.
And there's your answer there. Because if that was me and I'm bitching to my wife regarding our kid and their extracurricular, I'm going to ask. My understanding, okay, fine, then send me the schedule. Glenn doesn't want to send me the schedule. Can you send me the schedule? Okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it shows the interest, not just, hey, I'm bitching because I want to bitch, that I'm not going to these things. I'm giving the effort back. Okay, hey, send me the schedule so I can see when I can make it out there.
Well, until that day happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Until that day happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I like I said, talking to the wife and talking to you and talking to, Roger, it made me kind of like more relaxed and shit. Well, it is what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she needs to try harder.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's mainly for the other fact, like you said, gone 7 months. She's already put in other priorities in front. And I think the main kicker to me, though, was that the mere fact that she figured out with Layla. So she knows how to do it. She, again, you're not withholding anything. She has to just ask.
Yep.
If you cared and if you wanted to do it, you just ask. It's a question. Okay, send me the schedule. When's the next performance? Where's it at? It's a simple question that hasn't been asked.
Let me see here. Anyways, okay, so enough of this catching up BS. Let's get into like I said, the second part of the podcast that I kind of want to.
You keep looking over there. It's tripping me out.
I'm not, dude. I keep looking at the time.
Oh, okay.
I keep looking at the.
I swear, you're like looking over here.
No,
And I'm like, bro,
I keep
what
looking.
Are you staring
so
at?
I keep looking at the time because also, Jojo is
I forgot.
has practice. He's at practice, but. So I keep looking at the time, see how long we've been talking for, to see when we're gonna cut it off.
Okay,
and kind of talk about.
I'm not gonna lie, you've been tripping me out the entire time. Like, bro, what are you staring at?
Dude, we have this going on, bro. There's no ghost in here anymore.
Well, see, that's the problem. Before you told me that there has been something going on in the past.
So you see my brother Danny's van, right?
Yeah.
He rather sleep in his van than sleep in the guest bedroom, and I think because he likes to sleep in, he likes to sleep where no one bothers him what time to wake up.
Yeah.
Since the guest bedroom is also the wife's office, I believe that's the reason why he'd rather not sleep in there, because he doesn't want to be woken up at 7:55 every morning.
Yeah, probably.
So he was telling us earlier that somebody was knocking on his back door, like on the back door of the van. So we're looking at the camera. I'm like, no, I don't want to see the shit. I don't want to, because a couple last week or a week and a half ago, we were all sitting in the living room and our freaking gate door just slammed, closed, like that shit. There was no wind.
Wait, which one?
The one in the one in the living room.
No.
Yeah, the master door, the main door.
Yeah.
It just slammed. So, yeah, there's shit here. There's.
But that's the reason why when I kept seeing you, my angle is you're looking like at the corner. So I'm like, what is this dude staring at? This dude's tripping me out.
I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at the time of the...
You know why? Because every time too, it's always been like right next to you. Mm-hmm. So I always see you looking. So it's obvious.
So I set up the podcast area a little bit differently today. So that's why. But yeah, no, I keep looking at the time. I keep looking at the time to make sure we're not overdoing it.
It's been tripping me the entire time. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But so like I told you earlier, there's people that vent to me. I have lots of people. This one guy on TikTok saw my post on TikTok, and he was like, "Hey, dude," he started venting to me about how his wife cheated on him on the same day of their marriage, like the same day they said I do. So I wanted to bring this one up to your attention because you're about to be a dad.
Yeah.
So, this individual was talking about how he's been with this girlfriend for 4 years, something like that, and they got engaged and they're gonna get married sometime in 2025. But the entire 4 years of them talking, they were talking about obviously having kids once they said I do. Well, now that they are about to get married, she has changed her tone and does not want to have kids, and that's all he's ever wanted is kids. So, what would you do, or how would you feel if you wanted your kid, and then let's say you guys are about to go and do all this IVF BS, and then the wife says, "Never mind, I don't want a kid after all."
Yeah, so that's a little tough, you know. So I've wanted a kid, so putting myself in that situation, just kind of do a little synopsis. I wanted a kid growing my entire life. We talked about it. She's on the same page. I proposed. Now that we're about to get married, she's changing her tone. She said, "No, I don't want kids no more."
Exactly.
Man, that's tough. This is what I would do, I think. Because, I mean, if she said she wanted it before, something's changed her mind now, I think I would still go through with it just for the mere fact that something probably spooked her right now, or her tone changed. That doesn't mean that she won't change her tone later on. However, depending on how much you value your wife, if having a family and kids is really like your main goal in life, then maybe, you know, you roll that dice to see, hey, maybe she'll change her tone, and once that happens, that, you know, you knock her up quick, or you be like, all right, well, you know what, you're not changing your tone and you're 100% set. At some point, you know, you just got to dip.
Poke a hole in the condom.
Yeah, you know, it's true. You know, you just, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you two are not on the same page and it's something that's very meaningful to you, that tells you right then and there if that person is a person for you. You know, because you can find someone that's on the same page with you. You know, that doesn't, again, mean that the person is a bad person, or it doesn't take anything away from them. It's just if two people are not on the same wavelength, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't want that person. I don't want to grow resentment towards someone that I love. Right. You know, if it's just not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I don't want to marry this person thinking, okay, well, she'll change her mind. She'll change her mind. She'll change her mind. Oh my God, we missed our window. Yeah. Now I'm fucked. You know, how am I gonna have a kid? I'm 45 years old. How am I gonna have a kid with someone else at this time? Right. Now I'm just growing resentment. Unless early on you come to the conclusion that, you know what, hey, I respect my wife's decision. I love her more than having a family. So you know what, we're gonna just enjoy just us two for the rest of our lives. It's just, yeah. You know, but if you can't do that, then that's why I say it's to me. I think I would, if she has always said no, then I'd be like, okay, you know what, cut ties. Yeah. But if she was yes for the entire time, and now randomly at the end, after 4 years, she's like, you know what, no, I don't want kids no more. To me, I think I would roll the dice.
Well, look at my buddy Chris. That he got with somebody who didn't want kids, and he doesn't want kids, and they're in their mid-40s and living the life, man. Yeah. Not living the life. I can't say that because I got kids. Ooh, the kids are gonna hear this shit one day and say like, "What the fuck, Dad?" No, he's loving it. One day they decided, "Fuck it, we're going to Vegas," and they just take off, and no responsibilities, none of that. They just, but he, like I said, he married someone who felt the same way.
Same wavelength, exactly.
For me, for example, you know, and correction, because last podcast episode I said 1998. No. In my case, I've been changing diapers since 1988 and didn't want kids. Yeah. I did not want kids. You know, I just, you know, got with my baby's mom. She already had a daughter. Okay, cool. This is it. We'll leave it at that. And it's not like she ever wanted like to say, "Well, I want kids. I want kids. I want kids." It was just like, we're fine right now. And then obviously Nick was born, and Julian was born a fucking year and a half later, and I can't fucking say the same anymore, man. I fucking love those kids. I'm like, I did not want kids. I hated the fact that fucking kids existed and shit. Like, fucking little kids want to choke them the fuck out. I wanted a fucking Anakin Skywalker, them kids, take out them younglings and shit. And then to now fucking, like today, man, Nick was going to school because they're in Knott's Berry Farm right now for the horror nights or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, he sold 6 boxes of chocolates during that trip, bro.
Nice.
And he's over there right now, and I was talking to him like, kid, I fucking love you, right? I told you already, I will commit a felony for you. I will fucking choke a motherfucker for you. And he's like, yeah, I know, Dad. Well, this is the first time that you're gonna go to Knott's without me, okay? And I had to give him the little like, sadly nowadays, you can't be the man and step up to somebody if they're being disrespectful or picking on one of your friends or whatever the case would be. Sign of trouble, you fucking walk away. Yeah. Fucking walk away. It's sad to say that I feel like I'm giving him bad advice, but it's good advice. But at the same time, because I fucking love them so much that, like I said, at one point I was like, I can't believe I said at one point I didn't want fucking kids.
No, that's all you live for.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I feel the same way, man. If this guy really wants kids, and that was the original plan before they even said yes to getting engaged, then if I feel that if he can't change her mind before they even said I do, then yeah, I would freaking bounce. I don't know how old the guy is, but I would bounce.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a very good point too, right? Kind of off topic too. Wait, so Nick's at Knott's Berry Farm because he sold all those boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Or
cool.
If he didn't sell those chocolates, we would have to pay the difference.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, good job, Nick. Okay, sorry, going back. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Like you said, you for sure have to have a sit down, or he for sure has to have a sit down, like a legit one, and like it's kind of like what Betty and I did before we got married. Not that we're having any issues or anything, but I think it was clear to paint the picture of what we both thought our futures would be individually and as a couple, to see, make sure that we're on the same page. That's very important. And even for instance, Betty wants 4 kids. I just want 2, and she's like, I want 4. I told her, I'm like, okay, well,
it's coming out of your savings account.
Yeah, no, it's funny because you mentioned that, because I told him, like, look, at the end of the day, I said we have to have a compromise. The only reason why, honestly, I don't mind having a lot of kids. I say that now, right? Even her, who knows? Maybe after 1, we're like, fuck that, fuck that. So I told her, I'm like, I have a very particular way that I like to live. It's a little bougie. It's a little, all that shit. I'm a city guy. It is what it is. So I told him, like, I'm down for the 4, but you have to compromise with me in that in the middle at some point we need to start doing these investments that we've said that we needed to do, so that again our financial portfolio continues to grow, so that I'm not like, oh my god, we have 4 mouths to feed, fuck, when am I gonna, I gotta work more, because I'm like, the worst thing I want to do is work a shit ton and that takes away from me and my family. Like right now, thankfully, I don't work that much overtime because I get to spend quality time, with Betty as much time, especially right now. Before, yeah, I was doing quite a bit, but now, because it's just going to be just us 2. This is the last time it's going to be just her and I. So I'm trying to be at home as much as I can and enjoy that, and then I'm sure once the baby comes, I'm not going to want to work that much overtime anymore either. So I'm kind of also getting used to doing that. But also in the meantime, I'm doing these other investments so that way I'm making up for the overtime that I'm losing, unless it's like, when I'm working, then we're being held over, or if I get like a later rest, that's different. I'm already out working. I'm talking about like working on my off days, like I don't do that shit no more. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm just staying home. So with all that being said, like I don't want to do that, because I want to be able to do like how my dad did for me and our suegro did for his kids, where he went to every game. That's what I want to do. I don't be like, oh no, I can't go because I'm working.
Yeah.
Or I picked up an overtime shift. That means I was off, but I'm working instead.
Well, that's what happened on Monday. the boys had the parents had a band booster meeting, and the wife's like, "You haven't gone to these," and I'm like, "Well, it's not like my fucking fingerprints have come back, dude. I think my fingerprints came back with my old conviction, bro, because they haven't called me, bro." And she's like, "You haven't gone to any of these, and you know what's up?" So I had the opportunity to go and meet Canelo.
I know.
Canelo, but you're wearing a shirt. Thank you, man. I think it was
for that exact reason.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to freaking go meet Canelo on Monday, and I chose to go and do something that involved my kids.
What a loser.
I know. No. So I ended up going to the band booster, but I'm glad I did because, you know, they're bringing up topics about the, you know, the kids and what they expect them to do and what they're going to do and what the parents need to do to continue to help the kids succeed in their because everything's apparently just asking for music is like $6,000 to get the okay from the publisher or whoever the
like
fuck.
The artist or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, wait, what? So even that's,
I guess that
you
makes
know,
sense. Yeah.
the fuck? Okay, whatever.
Damn, I didn't know it was like that, but
yeah,
damn.
I just learned that one. And then, so the parents that are actually, like I said, my fingerprints haven't come back. So the parents that are actually approved to go and move the equipment and help the kids load and shit and go on the bus with them, none of them have had time to take photos. Guess who has? Because I'm not down there moving equipment.
Yeah.
And I told them, man, I feel bad, guys, that I'm not helping you guys out with the equipment because my fingerprints haven't come back yet. But, you know, I've managed to take photos from the stands, and like that's perfect. That works. And I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, and I shared them the link to the Google Drive, and they were like, these are great. The lady that's running the Instagram page, for the band boosters for the band. The band's page, Instagram page, she posted about like 20 pictures of what I shared, about what I took, and of course my boys made the cut. Oh, you see Jojo like in 3 photos, you see Nick in like 2 of them. Just saying. And so before it was just like a picture of her daughter. You know, like, wait, what about the rest of the kids? Yeah. So I try to go to this meeting to try to take ownership of the fucking Instagram page. Good. I'm running this bitch. And so then the way the wife approached it, it was like, do you need help with it? And blah, blah, blah. And damn it, woman. I wanted to take ownership of this shit. But anyways, yeah, dude, we do what we got to do for our kids. Like I said, I chose my kids' thing over Canelo, bro. That's crazy, dude. And you know, if this guy really loves kids, man, he really wants to have kids, and he really wants to, you know, he needs to. Like I said, bro, I don't see anyone. I guess only fucking Robert De Niro having a kid at fucking 79.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a conversation they need to have, and also our time for self-reflection on both of them. To be like, okay, hey, you know, like, one, it's also a good question to be like, what changed your mind? Like, what spooked you? Yeah. And I think women like to hear too that, hey, that if a man's really gonna be there right by her side through it all, even when it gets really tough, especially with kids, you know, it could also bring back the confidence to be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I could do this. And maybe sometimes that's also she needs to hear too. Maybe she's hear from someone else. Maybe someone else had a very bad experience and like, oh, baby daddy and all this stuff, how it's all this drama and crazy nonsense. She's like, oh my God, fuck that. I don't want to even potentially have to deal with that. You know, at the end of the day, we don't know what the future holds. But I mean, if he can at least have that conversation to see, hey, what spooked you, and this is important to me, and they both can reflect to come back to a conclusion, whether it be like, you know what, I don't want to have kids. And if he can be like, you know what, hey, that means, again, we can get up and go to wherever, whenever the fuck we want. You know what, I can live with that. Or maybe he's like, you know what, I can't. Hey, no hard feelings. It's best, in my opinion, that they both just walk away then. You know, because if they're going to, again, I truly believe that potentially a form of resentment could be formed to where it can be, they're both going to be hurt at the end. Yeah. So it's like, sometimes it's best to leave on that note before a true resentment develops. But at the end too, who knows? Maybe she can change her mind later on. Because if she was down before, change her mind now, who knows? You know. So it's like, to me, is it worth the dice roll? Yeah. I don't know. And if you're gonna take that dice roll, make sure you get that prenup.
Life advice from Officer Ricky. Well, I'm gonna call it. It was good having a fucking podcast episode going on, man. I've been itching, bro, for a podcast episode. I've had different ideas on how to set up my equipment. I've had fucking look, we're back to the table, bro. We're back to the old school table.
Back to square one.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. We're back to little table again, but this time we have armrests.
Yeah.
So no more tripods, and yeah, dude, I'd like to eventually get 2 more microphone stands going on, and I mean, lately since COVID, bro, it's always been 2.
Yeah.
2 or people they're like, no, we can't come in, so just do it on the phone. But I really would rather have people in here. My brother Danny should have been on the sofa, but he said, nah, Chop, I'm gonna run inside before you put a microphone on my face. I did it to a friend of mine. She brought her sister-in-law, and I put a microphone in front of her face. Now you're talking, cabrona. And but yeah, I want to do this more often, Rick. And like I said, if it's just you coming in here, then like I said, whatever people have vented to us, we'll just go off of that and see if we can somehow give some kind of advice about it. But based on what they're going through, and yeah, I want to do this more often, bro. So I need your schedule, bro. I need your schedule.
I'm always down. Get me in before the baby comes, cause any extra time.
Oh no! Once the baby's born, bro, I don't give a shit. You're quitting golfing. This is a priority.
Oh, I was gonna say,
no.
Any little extra time might be at the range.
Nope, no golfing. This is a priority, bro. I just gave you golf balls, so that's payment, bro, for today.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is.
Well, Rick, like we end every podcast episode. Thank you for riding with me.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.